What's up, this squad? Back with another video. Y'all seen the title was going down. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button for me, please. Y'all see it right here. It says, don't let this story die. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz must be held criminally accountable. You literally have it here. Over 480 DHS workers in Minnesota say Governor Walz covered up years of Somali-linked fraud, totaling over $1 billion. But we all know that is more than that. Definitely more than that. 8 billion, I'm pretty sure. Whistleblower says Walz retaliated against them by threatening their jobs. These workers say that they repeatedly warned the governor about exploding fraud schemes, but were then subject to increased monitoring, intimidation, and retaliation from their own governor, which is definitely believable. These are federal programs. These are our federal tax dollars. We are 38 trillion in debt. The middle class is struggling. Our young people can't afford homes. And foreigners, supported by Democrats, are looting the treasury. This is not okay. And we all know that this is definitely not okay. But one thing about it, stuff is getting done. So before we get into all of that, I do feel as if Tim Walz have bigger issues to worry about, than the R word, as he says. As President Trump put in this post, the seriously retarded governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz. And again, obviously Tim Walz had a lot to say. Tim Walz is now whining that people are driving by his house yelling, and y'all know me, I'll say, but I truly don't want to, I don't have time for it. And I just said it, but I don't have time for, to be getting in trouble today. But, and pouting that Republicans won't rush to defend them. Check it out.
Are you okay with the president calling our neighbors garbage? Are you okay with him referring to Minnesota as a hellhole, unfactually untrue? This creates danger. And I'll tell you what, in my time on this, I'd never seen this before. People driving by my house and using the R word in front of people. This is shameful. And I have yet to see an elected official, a Republican elected official, say, you're right, that's shameful. He should not say it. So look, I'm worried. We know how these things go. They start with taunts, they turn to violence. So deeply concerned.
Let me tell y'all something. Now that he said that people is driving past his house doing that, people are going to definitely drive us past his house doing that. I guarantee. People are definitely going to do that. And honestly, I'm not even going to lie. I don't know. Use a better word. I mean, you can say moron. One of them, because the things that he's doing is not smart. So, I mean, I don't know how y'all feel, but me personally, he has bigger issues to be worrying about right now. He truly does. Truly, truly does. Check it out right here, though, y'all.
Yo, Tim Walz, Captain Cornbread combat veteran. Why you out there crying because people driving by your house saying the R word, bro? Ain't you the same dude that got on camera with your Walmart brand tough guy face talking about how you was going to beat people up? So what happened?
Exactly.
Where's that same energy at now? Your voice changed real quick, didn't it? Whole chest collapsed like a folding chair at a family reunion. Let's keep it all the way factual since y'all like fact-checking everything but yourselves. Y'all the same ones that throw out labels that actually put targets on people's backs. Domestic extremists, threats to democracy, white supremacists, dangerous radicals. Y'all toss that shit around like Skittles at a pride parade. And those words get people fired. Swatted, assaulted, and straight up killed. We seen that shit earlier this year. And now you upset because somebody yelled retard out of a car window? Be serious. The same party that spent 4 years calling half the country Nazis suddenly needs a safe space because Timmy got his little boo-boo feelings bruised? You were Mr. Macho Man Tough Talk when you thought half the internet was your sparring partner. But now a drive-by shout got your ass. Nah, keep that same energy. I don't want to hear shit about words being dangerous from the side that weaponizes language like a slot machine in Vegas. You dish it, you own it. You set the rules. Now you're mad that the rules spun back and sat in the lips? Yeah, and by the way, calling out hypocrisy ain't an opinion. It's a documented pattern with a 100% accuracy rate. When we say something, domestic terrorism, investigation. When you say something, passionate political rhetoric. When y'all get insulted, threat to democracy. When we get doxxed, fired, attacked, or labeled, oops, thoughts and prayers. Tim, my guy, if you want to play the tough, I'll beat people up character, cool. But don't go full toddler. Just because someone didn't use the government-approved vocabulary outside your driveway. That's not intimidation. That's karma doing donuts on your lawn. Cry louder, Timmy, because the only thing more fragile than your ego right now is the double standard that you built it on. Yep.
I'm telling y'all, one thing about it is that, he's completely right. He's definitely completely right, when it comes to, Tim Walz and the left, constantly, spreading and inciting violence, but Let anybody, not even just Trump administration, Trump supporters, anybody that doesn't support, what's going on and what the left is doing right now, and they say anything, they break out and, all hell breaks loose. And it's literally, it's very, very sickening that they do this and constantly do this, and constantly keep it up and try their best, to make individuals look bad and seeing the things that they're doing constantly. Definitely insane to me, y'all. Definitely insane. You have here, this is Tim Walz's daughter. Says melts down because of, supposedly Trump's cult members and President Trump. Check it out.
No, I'm talking about this because while my family and I are always going to be the bigger people, the president calling my dad what he did has unleashed a storm regarding offensive language towards me and my family, and specifically my brother. You can call me whatever you want. You can call my dad, my mom. When it's Gus, to the no. To the no. He dealt with people calling him that last August, and now there's a resurgence. And no, how is it okay that
why did they bring the brother into this though? What did it says the cult members are driving by her house and screaming that her family are nobody that they.
The president of the United States can call somebody, anybody, doesn't matter who they are, that, and then all of his freaking cult members come and attack those people and that person's family. Say what you want about my dad. He's an elected official, right? That's going to happen. I think it's utterly disgraceful that the president would do that. But then the attacks that I have seen, I have people DMing me saying absolutely horrendous things. When I was home last week, somebody drove by and screamed that we were R-words. Just driving by in their car. I'm like, what world are we living in? And again, I draw the line at Gus because he dealt with that before, and not again. You people are disgraceful. Shame on you, all of you.
So her dad is the same one that wished death upon Trump, and nobody said anything about that. But just because somebody supposedly drove past their house and used the R word, it's a big issue. So you mean to tell me that that's on it? And by all means, I don't recommend. I'm not about to say, start calling people that, but to wish death on somebody. That's a little bit extreme, don't you think? To incite violence against Trump supporters, that's a little extreme, don't you think? I mean, I'm just being real. Not only that, if you want to go deeper, again, not even trying to be funny, they have a lot more to worry about. I'm telling y'all. Somali fraud scandal is exploding across Tim Walz, Minnesota. Now it looks like it could hit a jaw-dropping $8 million. $8 billion. $8 billion. Check it out.
Fraud investigators are finding in Minnesota is growing by the day. Kelly Loeffler, who leads the Small Business Administration, says in the 2 days her agency has been investigating the state, they've uncovered at least $1 million in PPP fraud just 2 days in. Several of the whistleblowers in Minnesota have also told lawmakers they believe the total amount of fraud could total up to more than $8 billion.
I'm telling y'all, definitely insane, y'all. Definitely insane. This Abdul, a Somali illegal convicted in feeding our future fraud scheme, and was ordered for removal in 2004.
All right, this news just breaking moments ago. Fox News has obtained photos of one of the Somali illegal immigrants wrapped up in the Minnesota fraud scandal, posing with several high-profile Minnesota Democrats, including Congresswoman Ilhan Omar and Governor Tim Walz. The man pictured is Abdul Dahir Ibrahim. He entered
And I apologize, y'all. I'm still sick.
the country in 2000 and has had an order for removal since 2004. He also has a prior conviction in Canada for asylum and welfare fraud. ICE tells Fox News Ibrahim was granted temporary protected status for 10 years, but should have never been eligible. We are going to have more on this in our next hour.
Exactly. Definitely insane, y'all. I'm not even gonna lie. Definitely insane. You know, you're literally having him posing for pictures with everybody. And the crazy thing is, everything's really out. Everything's really out. I mean, you literally have individuals, and I'm telling y'all, it honestly makes me mad because, and I always think about this every time I even do, you know, when it comes to a video of how many people are actually in need, you know, and you literally having people that are coming to our country, you know, and really not only you're having crime and stuff like that, and like you're having these assaults, you're having people do this, you're having people do that, but you're literally having people get all this money. There's individuals that's pulling up in new cars, iPhones, all this new stuff, all these new things. And there's people that actually been struggling, you know, Not even that. You're having assistance. You're having people get food stamps. You're having the government, you know, and giving them, housing assistance, travel assistance. You're having all these things. And it's literally, it makes me mad, y'all. I'm not even gonna lie. It definitely makes me mad. And it just frustrates me of how insane, you know, this stuff is. Check it out, Stephen Miller.
Based on what we have found so far, we believe that the Somali fraud operation in Minnesota is the single greatest theft of taxpayer dollars through welfare fraud in American history. We believe that we have only scratched the very top of the surface of how deep this goes. And you're familiar with all the scams with pretending that children have autism who are not in fact autistic, with pretending to enroll people in food programs when in fact nobody was ever enrolled, and engaging in massive fraud, lying, and theft and grift on a scale we've never seen before in American history. The total bill, the total tab for this is going to be far beyond the numbers we've already seen reported. We believe the state government is fully complicit in this scheme. And we believe that what we are going to uncover is going to shock the American people. Look, based on the records that we already have, and this is a significant undercount, by the way, 75% of the Somali population in Minnesota is on welfare. But that's likely a significant undercount of just how much of a financial burden the Somali refugee population is imposing on this country.
Definitely insane. I'm not even gonna lie. Definitely insane. Definitely sickening. You know, like I said, that, you know, you're having these individuals literally come to America and literally just mess over. Not even that. You need to hold accountable for, you know, these individuals, Ilhan Omar, Tim Walz, you know, and many more that are letting these things happen. You know, it's definitely insane. You know, and they want to talk about President Trump. They want to talk about Trump's man. How can you be a patriot and this, that? How can you be a patriot and you're letting stuff like this happen? How can you be a patriot when you're a part of, you know, something like this? How you be a patriot when you're literally saying that you wish this upon, you know, President Trump, you know, inciting violence, you know, to other Americans? Literally insane to me, and it's definitely sickening. Definitely, let me know your comments and thoughts down below. Definitely appreciate y'all. Much love, everybody. I got to get myself together. I truly apologize, you know, for coughing. Probably shouldn't be talking that much anyways, but I definitely apologize. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. Catch y'all next one.